everybody, I have a gigantic Smashbox lip kit to show you. This is amazing. Smashbox, for 25 years our lips have been sealed. Be Legendary lipstick. It's huge. This is a limited edition thing that I got from Sephora, and it has at least a bazillion lipsticks in it. Look at all of those. I mean, how much fun is that? So these are several different finishes. Some of them are creams, some of them are glitters, some of them are matte, some of them are shiny, some of them are sheer, but they're all Be Legendary lipsticks, and these are all named after different, you know, fashion and movie icons from the past. Here's the box it comes in, and then on the back it has pictures of all the different colors. It comes with a really nice little lip brush, which for a lip palette, you really need a lip brush because, I mean, unless you just want to stick your fingers in and put it on with your fingers, you're going to be using your lip brush a lot. I would have liked it if they had maybe done a double-ended one because there are so many colors in here. I mean, to just have one brush, you're going to have to really be cleaning it off all the time or using 15 of your own lip brushes if you have such a thing. Lip palettes in general are just not very common. I mean, usually, you know, eyeshadow palettes out the wazoo. Sometimes you'll see a blush palette, but lip palettes, whenever I see a lip palette, I just try to grab it because you don't see a whole lot of lip palettes. I currently have on a color called Dean. It's right here, and it's a nice plum mauve. I'm going to swatch some of these colors that I think are real standouts on my hand for you. Okay, standouts for me on the top row are this Tina right here, and then this Jessica, and then this Kim, sort of a brick color. So, Tina, Kim, Jessica. On the second row, I enjoy Kate and Dean. I'll just show you Kate because I have Dean on. Ooh, look at Kate. Ooh, I like that one. These are not, I'll tell you more about the formula later, but these are not your typical lip palette formula. I'll tell you all about that. Okay, next line, I enjoy Ashley and Jennifer. Oh, I love this Ashley. Look at that. Beautiful. Also from that line, let me grab Davis for you. There's Davis. Not really red, sort of a hot pink. Next line, I like Jane, Star, and Matthew. Now as you can see, this one is sort of, this is Star. It's sort of more sheer than some of the others. This is a definite cream, like a high pigment one. And then this is Matthew down here. So there's a difference in the consistency of some of these. Some of these are sheer, some of them are full coverage. And on the bottom line, I like Christina, Kelly, Phil, and Robert. I like all of them. So Christina, Kelly, Phil, love that one, and Robert. Now in the palette, Kelly has some glitter in it, but it's not really showing up on my skin there. So what I was going to tell you about the formula on these, a lot of times in lip palettes, they'll all, the colors will all just sort of look the same. They'll all be sort of a sheer, you know, cherry color, anywhere from cherry to fuchsia to plum to mauve. Not really a whole lot of variation in a lot of lip palettes. Also not a lot of variation in the textures or the finish. This palette has some mattes in it. It has some sheers. It has some full coverage. So not your normal lip palette that everything kind of runs together and looks the same. This was fairly expensive. These are all Be Legendary lip products, which are, you know, one of their nicer lip products. It was $75, but it is a lot of colors. 25 colors for 25 years, I guess, is what they're going for. Really like this palette. Not a huge fan every time of a lip palette, but this one really fits the bill. So on the back here, they have the names of all the different colors, and then they have the finishes for all of them, like matte, femme fatale matte, fireball matte, Shock Me Pink, Pink Petal, Pout, Fig. So that's sort of a description of the color, and then the name of the color is a person's name, you know, Lori, Sandra, Tina, Jessica. So that's pretty interesting that they put down here, you know, which ones are matte. Really like these, very comfortable on the lips, feel pretty long wearing because they don't feel really super glossy or wet. It feels like they're actually going to stay on pretty well. So love this palette. Speaking of palettes, I have been using this for quite a while. I finally picked up from Ulta the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro palette. I'd had my eye on it for quite a while, and I picked it up during one of their 20% off sales. This has 8 colors in it, and I've been using it a lot to try to get a feel for it. I have not been just a huge fan of it. Here's why. So we have your contour line right here, and then you have your sort of highlight or light colored line down here. Some of these are meant to be sort of more shimmery than highlight. These two are actual contour highlights, and then these are more of a shimmery, like a highlight for your cheekbone. So I'll swatch some of these and I'll show you what it is that I don't really like about them. The formula on them is okay. It's not super dry or powdery or streaky. It's soft and it's easy to put on. So out of these colors here, probably the one I would use to contour the most is this one right here. And it looks like a cool sort of a pink brown mocha in the palette. But on me, it goes on very sort of orangey. A little more orangey than I like. I like a really taupe brown contour. See, now it's really starting to show kind of more purple and more of a sort of a warm tone. It just didn't turn out good on me. The deep is too deep for me. Then these are definitely too yellowy orange for me. It's just really sort of got a pink tone to it, this one color that I swatched. The highlight colors are okay, but they're just, you know, once again, they're not showing me a whole lot of sheen or that sort of eggshell finish that I like in my highlights that go with a contour set. Here's the very whitest one right here, and it's just not, there's not any sheen to it really. Now I don't mind the highlight, like this far corner one right here is sort of a highlight, and it's very chalky white. It's very white, and it's meant to be, you know, as actual cheekbone highlight. But it is white. No matter how sheer you put it on, it is going to be white. It's going to be kind of comparable to the Becca Pearl highlight. So I don't really mind that one. That one's kind of pretty, and I'll probably keep this palette just kind of for that one color. I don't have the Becca Pearl highlight one. So I think this will be a good sort of dupe for that. And they don't make the pearl one in pressed powder as far as I know. I like the pressed formulas better than the liquids. So I think this one, well, in the corner does work out for me, but the contours just don't, the color is just not perfect on me. The perfect contour color for me that I use is in the Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette. That one that's very, very gray, that really seems to work for me. And this palette is $24.99. I mean, that's a lot for a NYX palette. That's a lot. I mean, I think they could have done it at maybe, you know, maybe $19.99, maybe even less than that. $14.99 I think would be a lot more reachable for people who buy a lot of NYX. One thing though, all of these pieces here pop out. This is sort of like an interchangeable palette. You can put different pieces in. I guess you could maybe put other NYX blushes in there, or if they have large eyeshadows, you could maybe pop some of those in there and make your own sort of custom palette. More goodies on the way. Bye.